Do we need to do a white balance or anything? Do we look good? No, don't worry about it. Looks white. We're professionals here.
If it looks white, it must be right.
Oh, I like that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Lights, Camera, and Dustin Show. Another installment. We're here at the Bull City Cider Works in the downtown Durham location. Once again, always want to say thank you to them for hosting us.
No, I appreciate it.
It's a wonderful place to be. If you haven't been here, you got to come down here and check them out. And Abel, he's a pretty good bartender.
Yeah, man. He pours a nice cold one. There's ciders. So what's cool is I've learned over the last few weeks that Bull City doesn't just have ciders. They have pilsners and IPAs and things they make in-house, along with all your other favorite drinks from outside the brewery. So come down, see, tip well, and yeah.
And they usually have a like a food truck or something out there.
Yeah. Today, this week was Thai food, and last week was some tacos. I don't know what's going on next week, but hey, come out. And support the show, support local breweries, and local business.
Local business. That's right. So shout out to the Bull City Cider Works.
Bull City Cider Works.
So what we got today, man? What we got going on?
What is the stereotypical description for someone named Cameron McCarty? And these were asked by AI. So this is a stereotypical Cameron McCarty. Based on common stereotypes and cultural associations, a person named Cameron McCarty might be imagined as a white male, late teens to early 20s, from an affluent or upper middle class family, possibly attending a private school or prestigious university. Interests in sports. Shit, I lost my place. Interests in sports, particularly lacrosse, sailing, or rugby. Man, you're a prude Duke man. Maybe a fan of preppy clothing brands like Polo or Vineyard or Vineyard Vines. Possibly with a confident, outgoing personality and a strong sense of entitlement. Might be seen as preppy or bro type individual. Again, remember that stereotypes are generalizations and don't necessarily reflect the actual personality, interest, or backgrounds of someone named Cameron McCarty. You're damn right, you early 20s white male. You know what's funny is I think it's
I like this one.
There must have been like a naming spike like 20 years ago, and a bunch of Camerons got named. Otherwise, they're really awkward on late teens to early 20s.
That's oddly specific. I love this because that is very specific.
Yeah.
And two,
I'm excited when you do me.
Yeah.
Crazy. Hard taco or soft taco?
Hard.
Straight banana.
These are all questions that a Cameron McCarty would ask at the frat house. So I have one here. All right. So this says that's a fun question. Based on common stereotypes and cultural associations, a person named Dustin Webb might be imagined as a white male, late 20s to early 30s, from a rural or suburban area in the United States, perhaps the South or Midwest, possibly with a country or folksy demeanor, interests in outdoor activities like hunting, fishing, or sports, maybe a fan of country music or classic rock, possibly with a strong sense of traditional values and a down-to-earth attitude. Please remember that these are broad generalizations and not necessarily accurate for every individual named Dustin Webb. People are unique, and stereotypes should be taken with a grain of salt. Thank you.
You know what's funny, though? I feel like your AI assessment of a stereotypical Dustin Webb was more accurate than a Cameron McCarty for you.
Yeah.
That was like 50%.
Yeah.
Still started turning country.
My parents in naming me, they were trying to project. They knew I was going to have a hard time in life by being a black male, an African American male. So they wanted to give me a name of a white douchebag.
As a white male, I have no comments, but I want to be public.
And ironically enough, A lot of yours actually fit me.
What's it got to like traditional values and go away, bug, get out.
Country music.
Country
and
music, yeah. It was
Going fishing.
yeah.
Yeah.
They lost me there.
Yeah. America. Drink a beer for America.
Does this mean we need to down it?
We need to shotgun it. Shotgun a natty light. That's what a Cameron McCarty would do.
Stereotypical Dustin Webb.
Do you buy into stereotypes? Do you think stereotypes are real?
Man, I think these are trap questions, and I don't like them.
I mean, everything is. Everybody has a stereotype. I mean, whether you're a Cameron McCarty or a Dustin Webb, doesn't matter.
People now talk in coded ways when they talk about stereotypes.
I mean, you got to be careful these days. Got to be careful.
I feel like when I'm going to use movie theaters, affluent, rich, or like wealthier area movie theaters seem like they are quiet through the whole movie. And if you go to a lower income area, which I feel like some politicians or people use that as a code for it's a black neighborhood, they'll be like, oh, it's lower income. Because then you're not sounding racist. But even if it doesn't matter what color, like lower income movie theater or the dollar movie theater, there's a lot more interaction with the screen.
That's facts.
So I like it quiet during a movie, especially I haven't seen before. But I did go see Silent Hill at the $1.50 movie theater in Raleigh.
Is that the one off of Western?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's probably $3 to $5 now with inflation and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably one of the most fun times I've had.
Really?
I learned a lot. I thought I wouldn't like it when people started talking, and then I leaned into it, and I started interacting too, and I had fun.
It became a communal experience. You were all talking to a thing. Yeah.
Like when I don't remember the parts of the movie, but it was like there was a suspenseful part, and you know how when people just do stupid things in a movie. Yeah, I heard something on the other side of the door that sounds like it's going to murder me.
Why would I open it?
Yeah, like you know what I'd be doing? Be huddled up next to the toilet, like between the wall and the toilet. I'd be hiding or I'd be under a bed. I would try not to exist.
That's oddly specific that you would go next to a toilet.
Who's gonna go look at the toilet?
I mean,
who? Who's gonna look at the toilet?
I wouldn't. So true. Yeah.
I might get underneath all the dirty clothes.
Have you thought about this before?
Not till just now.
Okay, so you might not want to say this too much because now you're giving away your hiding spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what's been going on with you this past week, man? Any good things? Any?
I don't know, man. There was this eclipse happening.
Yeah.
I don't get excited about those.
Man, that was so cool. So for me, it was anticlimactic. Just saying. I was anticipating it. I halfway took off of work. I was outside for like 3 hours.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Oh, I was in it. I was invested. But it was like,
nah. I mean, we weren't in the middle. We weren't in the totality.
We were in the totality.
So for me, it sounds like you got worked up and you got really excited about it. Like most of the people out there.
Yeah, I got excited.
I don't get excited about these things.
But it's like
I know the science behind it. I know what the fuck's happening.
It's an earthly, godly experience.
Is it godly?
It's godly.
Godly's making it happen.
Yeah. It's a godly experience. That's what it was.
Godly.
Yeah, that's an eclipse.
Yeah, I didn't feel the godliness of it there. I just wasn't excited. The outside, I didn't care to look up at the. I didn't want to do a Trump.
I was the guy looking at the sign with no shades on.
Cool. Well, I mean, you're a Trump fan, so that makes sense.
I do it real quick.
So, but the ambiance during that time was pretty chill. We were just out on the back porch, eating our lunch, and enjoying like the serenity of it. And I think after a friend of mine told me that it's a different experience in totality area.
I mean, that would make sense.
So I might try to make the event, but I don't know why I don't get excited about it. Sounds like you got excited. Like
I did.
You took up half the day.
Yeah. You know, I just thought about this just now. What if?
What if?
What if?
What if?
It actually wasn't this whole solar eclipse thing. It was just Elon Musk driving his jet across the sky.
He's got like the Falcon 11 prototype Betamax.
He created a solar eclipse.
Hey man, maybe he's trying to solve global warming.
Yeah. I mean, he's that kind of guy.
Or he's that kind of guy that's paying people to do all the work for him and then he takes credit for it.
Speaking of, making somebody rich, we're going to talk about this in just a second. This whole concept of universal income, I've been seeing that thing come across.
Universal income.
A universal-based income. We can talk about that in a second. We're talking about making people rich.
Making people rich.
Yeah.
Universal basic income is going to make people rich?
The opposite of.
The opposite?
The opposite of. Makes everybody poor.
What?
Makes everybody poor.
What?
Capitalism.
What?
Got to have capitalism. We're going to come back to that, though. But no, this solar eclipse, man, I thought it would be more umph to it.
Godliness.
I thought it would be more godly. And, it was okay.
Seeing the NASA images are pretty awesome.
I mean, seeing anything from NASA is pretty awesome, actually, if you think about it. So, you don't have to wait for a solar eclipse to see some cool stuff from NASA.
Yep.
That's right.
You said something about universal base income.
Yeah, universal based income.
Based income.
UBI.
UBI, yeah.
UBI. Universal basic income. Universal basic income.
You ever heard of that?
Yes. I may or may not be a fan. I'm on the fence about it.
I am not a fan.
So,
I think it's.
hey, let's you go first. I will tell you arguments for it, and then I'll tell you why that I don't think it's healthy.
Okay. So I did a little bit of research on it. So
What is it first?
So from what I understand is a universal based income is where the government provides all of its citizens with the same amount of consistent money. Whether it's whatever increment that is, whether it's weekly,
Just
monthly,
a base.
just a base. It's a base salary or installment, if you will, and everyone gets the same thing. So it's socialism on steroids.
I'd say it's socialism light.
Light.
Maybe, I don't know.
What?
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll get into it in a second.
Doesn't matter.
I'll tell you why. I'm going to tell you why universal based income is probably where we need to go as a nation in a moment.
So first off, it's never worked. That's the first part. One, it's been tried very limitedly in a very limited capacity. In the places that I think Finland has a trial going on to this day. But Finland's tried it, Brazil's tried it. A lot of nations have tried it on smaller scales.
There's a state that uses it all right now, currently.
What state is that?
Alaska.
Does Alaska exist?
It doesn't exist? What?
Alaska's basically Russia.
Sarah Palin's from there. Do you think it's real? Have you seen Alaska?
I've never seen Alaska.
Look at a map.
So, but this concept of everyone, where's the money going to come from? That's the first part.
You tax the wealthiest 1%, 0.1%.
But we're all getting the same amount of money. There is no 1%.
No. So I think your misconception is everyone's getting the same amount of money. No. Everybody's getting the same amount of base income. You can still make more than that. Like, am I going to stop doing what I'm doing because I'm getting a $2,000 a month from the government? No.
Wait. So
I think you have a misconception of what universal base income is.
So I saw that, and I was under the impression that I was reading that wrong. So basically, everybody's on welfare.
Yeah, for lack of a better term, let's say that.
Where does that money come from? We can't even support it as it stands.
Well, I think the tax structure is pretty not great right now. When Amazon's not paying any taxes, or GE is not, General Electric's not paying any taxes, and there's loopholes to get out of certain taxing. I think I'm not saying for or against. I'm just saying that there's probably money where it can be found. There's a lot of stipulations of what would universal base income look like. See,
it could look, yeah. How does it look is a great question.
Because right now there's some places in the U.S. that have already tried it out.
Has it been successful?
So what they found is the people that, and this is more on the welfare side where they're taking people that could use it the most. So they're under poverty line and they're giving them a universal base income, and it's ranged I think between $800 to $2,000. I don't know. What they found is most of those families are using it to buy kids their supplies for education or buying food. They're doing things to support their families. So is that an argument for? You could probably make that, yeah. So I think it's probably a useful thing, but the reasons that I have that I think it should be implemented or inevitable is I think in the next 10 to 20 years you're going to see AI destroy jobs.
That's going to happen to a degree. It will.
You've already seen it in the mining industry. You're probably going to see it. I think my prediction is accounting. Um, we're already seeing it in acting. There's a lot of different places that it's going to eliminate jobs, and I feel like as you keep doing that, how are people going to make money? How are people going to stimulate the economy?
I mean, I think there's always going to be a place for skilled labor. I think there's always going to be a place for computer programmers or people who program AI. I mean, AI is never truly going to run itself. And I was watching a video of someone, and they were pretty much saying the same thing you said. Hey, in the next 15 to 20 years, anything that's rule based, any job that's rule based, meaning if you can create a rule behind it, do this way, this amount of times, or whatever that is, you can create a command for it,
Yep.
and AI can do it.
And I think even things that we haven't thought of yet. I mean, look at Amazon. Amazon's like got factory. They got factory workers that are doing stuff. I mean, not factory workers, factory AI robots that they're trying to get it to implement where like they could have a warehouse that's literally run probably by like a team of 5 to 10 people, and they're just managing it, making sure everything's working. What do you do with all that workforce? Like how is it largely macroly having an effect on the economy? And I think the only politicians that are willing to even talk about these type of things are Bernie Sanders and Andrew Yang.
I think there's a level of truth in it. I think it's mostly truth. However, I think just like with the rise of the internet, it created a new workforce. It's going to displace people. That is the nature of the beast. It's like when lights came on and when we created fire. It's going to displace a lot of jobs, but it's going to create a new sector. What that is, I'm not smart enough to know right this moment.
I don't know. It's a complicated issue of how should we implement it? Where does the money come from? Do I think it's doable? Sure. Do I think people can opt out of it because they don't want a handout? Sure. Should you make it a cutoff where you don't earn anymore? I don't know. I think that's like those things start getting weird. Like, are you being fair, unfair?
See, I would actually, personally, I wouldn't be for it at all, but I would be more for it if everybody got paid the same with a cutoff. I think mixing capitalism with socialism, I just don't think, I don't think it could work. I think it could become predatory.
Yeah. So let's like turn that page and talk about the negatives. Because you think go ahead, finish that predatory thought. Because I have a lot of thoughts against it too, which is weird because I'm very much for UBI.
To me, I think that breeds it. So coming from a place like where I come from,
Where do you come from?
I come from Jackson, Mississippi, right? And, you see the pitfalls of the city, and that's just one city of many across the country, where you start to look at the demographics, right? Mm-hmm. And we talk about economics and all that kind of stuff.
This is going into the predatory, like a predatory way that UBI could be used.
Not necessarily predatory way, but just follow me here. But the concept of you look at these cities that start to decline because of a failing tax base. You look at 50, 60% of the population is on some form of government assistance. So you only got 40% of 40% of the residents actually paying into the city, and you start to see the city decay and decline. And it lends to this concept: if the government is giving everyone enough to survive, what becomes the incentive to do more?
I don't think that humans are inherently lazy and just want to scrape by. I think humans want to find what they love to do and do that and pursue that, or they want to take care of their families. There is going to be a percentage that will just free ride. There is a percentage of people that fake an injury to get on a disability list. You're going to have that whether you have UBI or not.
That's right. We have it now.
Yeah. So, but if you have a universal-based income, the mom that needs that money to take care of her 2 kids and she's a single parent, that helps. As we get where inflation, because right now, what does it cost to live? If we just look at in this area what you need to live in a single-bedroom house, I think it's like around $1,200. That's astronomical. Thinking back when I was in my 20s, and that is fine to compare because I think the average income for a 20-year-old hasn't changed much, but the inflation and cost of living has. So those type of people would be affected the most and can use the money the most to just get a foothold. Same thing. Some of that universal-based income experiments were like with a homeless population. They spent most of their time, most of that money to just buy food or take care of themselves and get back up on their feet, and then to help them find a job.
See, I'm all for that. See, that kind of concept, even with welfare as it stands today, I'm actually not a proponent of how it's structured today at all. So that's why I wouldn't ever go into the UBI. But the concept of, if you're going to do that to a single mother or to a homeless person, do it. I think Clinton did it. Do the limit, do the term, right?
You're saying, you can get this for a certain amount of time?
For a certain amount of time.
That's an interesting thing. I don't know if I would, like, you get it for 10 years.
You get it for 10 years. Yeah, whatever.
Or 12. Let's say 12. You get it, you turn 18, boom, universal basic income till you're 30. Hey, if you don't make it by then, that's on you, bro.
It's on you.
See, this is why you got to talk about things. Because if we don't talk about this, or our politicians don't talk about stuff, how the hell are we going to come to a solution that's going to be beneficial for people?
I'm all for. Once again, I'm socially liberal, fiscally conservative. I'm all for helping, but I don't. Unfortunately for me, I don't have an idealistic view of the human society, of the human race. Meaning, I think there has to be incentive to not just stay on the UBI.
But yeah, I think a time capped UBI is an interesting concept and something that should be thought about.
Yeah. I want to see the good in humanity. I truly do. But even when it comes to the UBI, I just have this underlying feel of people abusing it.
I think inevitably that would be what happened. I think, to me, like, it's logical that you have to have it because of where society's going with all the automation and things like that. I'm curious to see what happens with our economy and everything.
You asked this question last week about, or on one of our other shows, about is healthcare a human right? And I don't know if that's true, and I'm still waiting on the people to let me know what they think about that one. But I don't not necessarily human right, but I think education. I think the government should really be supplementing education for us.
They already do it from grades K through 12?
I think it should go into college. To answer the question that you just had, who pays for said education when all those jobs are displaced and all this turmoil is going on?
I see an argument for that.
I think, even in the workforce, and you're an accountant and ChatGPT just laid you off, and now you need to learn a new skill, I think the government should step in and be there.
So I don't think the government wants educated populace.
Now, that's facts.
I don't think.
Yeah. I'm speaking from an idealistic standpoint.
Idealistic standpoint,
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. It'll help the economy. It'll help it'll help your nation. All those things. But I feel like because the government doesn't want an educated voter, that's not going to happen.
And big business doesn't want too much education either. The slight, small history. Everybody, go do your own research on the things that we talk about. But the slight history about our education system from K through 12 was back in the 1800s. Whenever Rockefeller was really big at that time, they wanted a place for kids to go, for their workforces, kids to go, and at that time, they worked with the government to create the school system to teach them certain things so that they knew how to come work in their factory.
Just an assembly line. Well, and you saw an evolution of that when the things became, hey, you need to go to college. And colleges feel like they become a big business, and universities became a business. And you saw a high influx of pay to go to a 4-year university.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it time for a little bit of diss?
Or that?
Diss or that. Diss or that. Diss. Let's see here. Fruits or veggies?
Fruits.
Fruits, yeah. I think there's like almost like a sweet or savory.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah. I mean, some people really like veggies though.
I mean, I like some veggies. I like the roasted broccoli that we have at home.
Roasted broccoli? That sounds pretty good.
It's phenomenal. I used to just be like steamed broccoli all day, and then we made roasted broccoli, and now I'm like, yo,
I've gotten into
If
Brussels.
I get the munchies, I want to get on that. Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, I've gotten into Brussels. I used to not like them. The last couple of years, I've really.
I think it depends on how they're cooked. If they're just
Yeah.
like mushy steamed, they're
But if you roast them, like you said, you roast them, air fry them, good.
air fry 'em? Oh, a little seasoning in
Gotta
air
do
fry.
it. Gotta do it. Gotta do
I
it.
might do that.
Gotta do it.
I think it's funny though that we've been talking about our vegetables the entire time, even though we're both are like fruits. I like bananas. North or south? My name's Dustin Webb, so I'm a southern person.
South.
I think I'm going north if I had a choice and wasn't going with my AI stereotype of Dustin Webb. Global warming is going to make the north more ideal to live. So, hey man, let's go live somewhere up north. I don't know where I'd live up north though. Alaska.
Yeah, I bet you would. Yeah, I bet you would.
Glasses or contacts?
Glasses for me.
I would just say LASIK.
Yeah, LASIK.
But no, contacts. I mean not contacts. Glasses. I can't touch my eye.
Yeah, I get the touching my eye thing. I can't do it.
It's a lot of work to see clearly when I could just put them on. Just be like,
I know they're cumbersome, you know, they may come off and stuff like that, but no, I don't want to touch my eye.
nope. 10 or RV?
RV.
RV. I would say RV too. I don't want to sit in a tent. I would be right in between. I would say a tent on top of a roof of my truck or in the back of my bed or something like that.
Have you seen like the truck bed, like inflatable things that like they fit the size of whatever your truck bed is?
You know what
and
I just said when you
a
said
bed?
like truck bed inflatable things? I just imagine like the inflatable arm things, like there, so your truck can swim in the river and be like, oh yeah, I'm a toddler in a pool.
Is that how it sounds?
Oh yeah, that's my truck that's in the kiddie pool, and I'm going to jump in the deep end now with my floaty arms. Card game or board game?
Board game. Board game.
I think there's still board games that just have deck building elements in it, so I'd have to go with board game. Board games are really fun.
Board games are fun.
It's weird because I spend majority of my time playing card games.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like we spent most of our time talking about veggies and stuff. But we both really like fruit. I like bananas.
Hire a handyman or DIY.
DIY. I'll do stuff around the house. DIY. My car.
That's what I was about to say. Would you work on your car DIY?
If it's underneath the hood, no. Too many computers.
That's where AI jobs are going to be. We're going to all have AI in our house, on our cars. Somebody's got to fix it. More AI technicians.
And if you had a universal base income to get some of these things, everyone can live a comfortable life.
And pay the AI technicians.
And the AI technicians will be in the top 1%, just living it up.
Mac or PC?
PC.
Yeah, PC. Yeah. All right. Public restroom or home bathroom?
Home bathroom.
If you choose public restroom, what person would you?
When I was a kid, I was made fun of. I it was a kindergarten. It's like the first 2 weeks of school, and I had to take a shit. And I walked into the bathroom, and we had no stall doors. And I don't know any difference. Everybody poops. So I took, and a whole bunch of big kids came in and thought that was hilarious. And I got pointed at and laughed
And
at.
now you have anxiety.
And
about it.
I will not take a poop
In a public
in a public restroom. Hell no.
Okay. Last one. Shower or bath?
Shower is way more like just logical, fast, like ergonomical. Everything makes sense. You just get in, get out.
They say a bath is not as cleanly because you're
Is it?
sitting it dirty. You technically, if you
It's not cleanly.
yeah, it's not
'Cause
as
you're-
cleanly as a shower.
Yeah, because you're sitting in your own filth.
in your own filth.
I like bath bombs. Some bath bombs are not fun because they'll turn your skin a little color. They get all glittery and stuff. So then you have like glitter underneath your area. By area, I meant armpits.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your armpit,
Yeah. Not your taint.
or is it the gooch?
All right, so we're out of time. If you've liked what you've seen here today, and you enjoy coming and hanging out with us, hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you make a comment. Let us know what we need to be talking about in future episodes. Or if you don't know what to say, just say Al Gore Rhythm. And tune in next week on Lights,
Cameron.
Dustin. I didn't know I had an alarm on the timer. We ended that perfectly.
Damn, we hit it.
Yeah, we did. It's like we know what we're
Damn,
doing.
we hit
We
it.
know what we're doing. We're professionals here.
Damn, we hit that.
That was good.